going live. Right. Thank fucking hallelujah for that, right? I don't know, thank hallelujah. Can you thank hallelujah? Because hallelujah needs to thank you something. Sorry for being a boring person. That. Right, it's all by 82, and this is Oldham True Crime, or OMD, Oldham Murders. I mean, whatever we're going to call it in a minute. I'm pretty stoned, to be honest with you. So, basically, we're going to talk about 45-year-old lady who's disappeared currently, but it's not looking too good in my eyes. Oh, I've got one person. Thank you, whoever it is. Send over your name, please. Thank you. Anyway, um, a 45-year-old lady, she's gone missing in Lancashire time on Weir. She was out walking a dog, apparently. She's gone missing, and people are being really sketchy with, like, what it's, like, whether there's the same that it's not suspicious and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, if it say it's not suspicious, means it's suspicious, and then she's been unable to answer a stream of questions, which is what I'm really going to go at now. Thank you for whoever that was who just turned off as soon as I said I've just got one stream, a nice one. What was it? So anyway, right, we're talking about Nicola Bulley. A Springer Spaniel, yeah, that's what she was working. She was somewhere in St. Michael's, I think it says. And let me just think about it. Yeah, it's a nice area. So she's out, she's walking Willow, which is a dog. I thought she'd gone out for a run, to be honest with you. She's gone out, took her dog out. Then we don't hear much more about this dog yet, so I don't know where the dog is. The dog been found yet? I don't know. Let's listen. Right. Usually I have somebody behind me who types and does bits and bats, but she's fell asleep on me, so I've come on a bit late, to be honest with you. And judging by the lack of viewers, I might not be coming on again. Am I joking? Rome wasn't built in a day. So basically, right, this is where I'm going to go to. The first thing that they basically come out with these lovely police. They turned around and said, people have been asked, to get a big update on the case and all that. And what they've done is come out and said, yeah, our update on the case basically is this. That this 45-year-old lady who works in some sort of job where she actually has to have these live videos, which I'll get to later, where she has to be in conference calls and stuff like that. While she's off doing her own thing, she's out taking a dog for a walk after dropping her kids off and then going for a jog or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right, so her specific vulnerabilities have been brought out, and the specific vulnerabilities are that she was an alcoholic. Then they basically say she still is an alcoholic. Well, alcoholic once, you're an alcoholic for life. But she's active. They're making on that she's active. She's drinking at the minute, and they brought that out when people have asked to know about the case, and they found it. Their prerogative to come forward and say, "Oh yeah, this woman was a pisshead." Do you know what I mean? So basically, what she's doing there is she's making it like, "Oh, do you know what I mean? Fuck her." It's pretty obvious that she'd go missing. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to pour as much of our resources, unless it was some posh fucker. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, still not getting nobody coming on there. Let's see what happens. But like I say, this can always be. It can always be made into a video, which it will be. But it'd be nice if you was watching now. So I'm going to go through some of these. Right, so they're saying that right now she has had a long history of alcohol, and they said it's been many times that she's. I don't know whether they're alluding to it. She's done this sort of stuff before, or I don't know. They're not saying that. They're being very guarded about what they're saying, to be honest with you, which is pretty bastard frustrating. You know what I mean? Isn't it? Especially when people have asked and they've been told she's a pisshead. It makes no sense. But yeah, I'm basically saying they're saying that there's a stream of vulnerabilities, to be honest with you, but they don't touch on anything other than the alcohol problem, the fact that she's been alcoholic, and they're saying that because she's going through the menopause currently, so that's maybe if this poor lady is still alive, she maybe didn't want it bringing out in front of millions of people that she was an alcoholic, a struggling alcoholic maybe, and I'm pretty damn sure that she didn't want it to show it throwing out there that she was going through the menopause. So now, and then there's been this, what I was going to mention later, there's been this talk of maybe, is that going to make her frightened of coming back now? I mean, she'd have to be quite, I don't mean this rude if you are listening there, but she might mean it like, she might think, she really is a soft ass if basically if it gets to her like that she's not going to come back and put millions of people's minds at rest. You know what I mean? Or what happens if she has gone out and we don't know as much about alcoholism? She might go on them big drinks till she fucking falls asleep and she's sick. But then I've gone through all this stuff in my head as well. When is a woman at her most vulnerable? When she's vulnerable anyway, but you know what I mean? They can be talked into things a lot easier. A lady is a lot different to a man. And I say a lady because she looks a picture one if you look at her on there, and just the fact that she maybe had a few too much to drink here and there does not make her any less of a person, and it doesn't make her any less of a lady. Do you know what I mean? So there is a difference between a woman, a female, lady, whatever, a female. I don't really, do you know what I mean? It's just, she's a lady until she does something wrong to me, do you know what I mean? There's only one lady in my life, that's me, my little lady, my April 87, Vicky, and then obviously I love my mum and that as well, but I mean, just my true lady's my Vic. And I'd be really pissed off if somebody brought out, oh yeah, Victoria Carroll has been missing since blah 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 blah. Yeah, what if you found out about the case? Oh, well, she's a fucking junkie. Do you know what I mean? She sticks needles in herself. Yeah, she's done that for fucking years and years now. Do you know what I mean? Well, let's basically a fucker. Do you know what I mean? That would really really piss me right off. I think I'd piss a lot of you off. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so let's get back to all the lovely stuff we've got here. Just me reiterating here. I took all these notes before, but then realised I was getting way past when I said I was going to stream live. So basically, I'm just saying about the public relations team, right? Have done a crap job, and they're saying speculations about what might have happened, blah blah blah. When I do mention that though straight away. At the beginning, Dave, at the beginning of this, I'm getting this straight off of Yahoo News, written up at Yahoo News. So big up to them and big up whoever written this thing. But you know what I mean? Good on you. And yes, for copyright issues and that, I am using their stuff. So, but I'm not putting out word for word on that. I'm just listening to bits and bats, and I'm answering that the way somebody from around that area and somebody from that sort of life, do you know what I mean? Maybe she might be 10 leagues above me in life, do you know what I mean? She looks like she is somebody who's been there, done that, like good jobs and stuff like that. And she looks like she uses the massive intelligence I've got in the right way instead of trying to make little bits and bats of yourself doing stuff like this. But in the day, something will come through eventually. Anyway, this video, I don't know, it might have 2 million views in a week. No, it might not. Probably won't. But at the end of the day, it's about trying things. You're never getting over about it. And in saying that, where do you get if you become one of these alcoholics and the police don't give a shit and they don't give a shit about you as much as anybody else? Well, you don't get nowhere there. It's obviously showing that they're lacking on this investigation really much so. And I know myself that when police have been called somewhere and they've realised that it's something to do with me, like my phone went missing recently. And I'm not fuck, call me, gosh. I mean, I was the police when the fucking phone got picked up, new phone from the police because they won't get the cameras up at where it happens. So I said, okay, yeah, I have to get the fucking cameras off somewhere in it because I ain't losing my phone. And instead of jumping head first into it and arguing with everybody, I thought, oh yeah, it'll get done. But let me tell you, lads, nice and tidy, stay the way you were because they do fuck all for us no matter what. No matter if you're not grassing somebody up there, you sat there, you just want to find your phone. Nope, they won't do fuck all for us. And that's true to people who aren't in our sort of life as well. You know, really need to look at it that yeah, we do get the hard end of the stick, really, really well, the sharp end of the plane, whatever we get somewhat, we get somewhat bad because we can't. We if we say too much we're grass, if we want a little bit of help, right, then we shouldn't be asking police at all. Anyway, we choose to live this sort of life, so we shouldn't ever use the police. But that's bullshit when it's something that we just need help on. Like we can't fucking get. We don't have cameras out, looking for things. So what we do is we bend the law. That's what we're known for, innit? That's why we're called criminals. We like to bend the law. And if bending it in my direction without hurting anybody else who's of my persuasion, yeah, at the time, I don't give a shit if you're a nonce. You get grassed up all day. Anything like that, any sickos like that. People like honorary decent, you know what I mean? If you don't threaten vulnerable people and all that, back to vulnerability. But anyway, this is a 45-year-old lady. She got about doing her thing. She had obviously had stability and structure. She's got kids in school. She's in quite a decent area. She's got a dog Willow there that she takes out at a certain time daily. She was on a call. The way the police have said that they know that she definitely had the phone held in front of her while she was on this call, this team talk. Well, how do they know she had it directly in front of her? I presume I did a lot of talking about it on this tape here, like why have they said this and why have they said that. But obviously they presume but they've said with they can say with great confidence she was holding it directly in front of her. But yet they've also deemed this case and this disappearance as nothing suspicious. So why have they looked into this? Why have they looked into the phone and all that? And why has what does it say? A bloody many different technicians have looked at this, right? And if many different technicians have looked at it, right, we know that only one decent technician, thanks for whoever's just come back on, any one technician looking at a phone, yeah, if they catch my mate down on Culpit Lane, yeah, with triangulating a phone call and giving 32 years, then they should be able to do this for a woman who's gone missing. And like I say, because they turned around and mentioned before they thought she was a pisshead and all that and blah blah blah, and now they don't seem as interested. And that's does make her vulnerable, yeah, because it means that they use that even really asked about looking after her. Now the next bit that comes out of that is, are they also saying maybe that could have been where she's gone to, and I've mentioned could she be lapsing, could she be relapsing, whatever. All the more case, to start looking about, you know what I mean? I presume they're saying they've done a lot of stuff, but it's Lancashire police, we're from Lancashire, and you know that the police are absolute fucking wank around here. They're dickheads anyway, but at the end of the day, around here they're particular dickheads. And it's pretty obvious that they're not going to do as much for this lady now, and they've said so as much until people like us start amping it up a bit and saying, listen, you better start looking for her just because she's not some fucking toff, you know what I mean? Because she's not got the stiff upper living blood with it. You know what I mean? Get people, get one, thank you for the second person on. There you go. Right, so listen, so basically we're taking it, sitting down that yeah, they're just going to turn around and say, "Oh, she's not as worthwhile as us. She's a piece of shit because she's had used alcohol in her life." Right, at the end of the day, they need to be thinking, no, she's if she we're saying she's vulnerable, we need to treat her as that and not like put it out and wreck her confidence and all that, and put it out to millions of people that she's a drunk and this and that. Why don't they turn around and make it, come on, love, come back, you need some help, and maybe we'll give you that. They should be doing it. And the fact that they've also said that about her being on a menopause, find that disgusting. Why say that? She wouldn't have wanted that none. She just wouldn't have wanted that none. She wouldn't have wanted the fact that she drinks none. So anyway, these specific vulnerabilities, what they've said, yeah, they could have absolutely messed stuff up for. So now, right, let's go to the next bit that was hearing. Right, it's a bit weird now. This I'm going up and down. I've had one, two, three. Then I've had three, two, one, then one, two. I don't know. There's a few years listening. Right. So let's have a look. Right, the police are saying that they are they've not deeming this as suspicious, not pointing across that way. Yet they've nicked a 49-year-old and a 20-year-old on it, right? And then these two people have been released, I think, on some sort of bail. But if there's nothing suspicious about it, why have they arrested these two people? What is it that was suspicious for them to nick them in the first place, and then for them to get rid of them? Like there's got to be something. But if it's not suspicious, why they, instead of just coming with this bullshit jive that they said, oh yeah, she was an ex-alcoholic and blah blah blah. When they did that, when they said that, they obviously said that there was something dodgy. Do you know what I mean? They said when they nicked them people, there was obviously something dodgy. So we need to know what were they arrested for, and if you chose to release them, have they been released on bail, or have they been released pending charge, pending further investigation? We need to know stuff like that. How's anybody going to know yet if you're not telling people who actually knows this sort of shit? You know what I mean? We know what it's like to be arrested, not all these like upper class fuckers who watch all this other shit, and then they can sit there and they all sit there and trundle off how they've been to university themselves and they know all about how the criminal mind works and blah 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 blah. No, the criminal mind works by listening to me. If you listen to me, you listen to a guy who tells you, yep, my criminal mind might not work fucking very well at all. I'm brilliant at getting out of a police interview and all that. I've walked away from some big case and that, but I've done some stupid ass shit. Jesus Christ. Fucking had money coming out of the fucking wazoo and then spent the cunt straight away. That deems me a stick as fuck, really. Fucking IQ in fucking genius level to fucking gone up to 200 or something recently. And I'm just, you know what I mean? And I'm sat here fucking trying to make myself fucking a little fucking thing on YouTube. Something I didn't even know what YouTube was fucking 10 years ago when you were all fucking banging at it. But no, I'm gonna sit and wait for another couple of years to come back on. Because obviously I said something wrong that sent us off. I don't know what the fuck it was. I think it's because I reiterated something. Well, fuck you, you have to do that when I'm trying to get people listening to me on a live feed. You win one, you lose one. I'm bad, I usually win loads. I'll tell you what though, while you're waiting for crime to come back on, the missus makes a damn good scone. I wonder if you can go viral, baby. I wonder if I could go viral by doing something really weird online now. Wow, I'm live after. Alright. I don't know, I'll just do something absolutely, completely fucking barking mad on there just to see if I get fucking picked up a bit. She's looking at me like she's gonna fucking kill me. She's like, no, you dare, bro. You dare. But do anything for the pursuit of that 15 minutes you just told people about. I've only got one live stream at the minute now. I've only got one at the minute. I've got to keep this straight. Fuck there. Fucking tight. Come on, man. Come on. I won't do it, baby. I'll pay you. Send your address. I'll pay you. They won't do it, man. Got die as it. Die charge. Smart crime. We're joking, man. Jesus, she's like, no, it's fucking dog gonna come flying off now. We're joking. Jesus Christ, man. If you like me for fucking the 10 minutes that you're on it, get the fuck back on. I know that nothing has seen the thing on Facebook because it's been like a motherfucker that fucking loves me about shit. No, I've had 8 years so far at one time, so come. Come back to me. Come. Oh, come on. Come on, man. See, the longer you don't turn up, the more reverse guns I eat, and that is just a cold thing. If you want a fucking woman to lose her gun, it's easy making them fat. Right, fuck it. Let's go back to what it was intended to be then. Right. Nicola Bulley, a Lancashire lass, 45-year-old. She's gone out before. I said she went out for a jog, and I said they should lots the kids up and all that. When you look at proper ways, yes, she has been on a school, and at some point she's been walking a dog, Willow, so a Springer Spaniel Willow. She was on some sort of time call to a firm that she works for. So it must have been some sort of decent work if she was able to be having meetings and that. And if she was required for meetings, to have these meetings while she's jogging. So yeah, she must be doing somewhat of a life. But today, Lancashire Police, when asked what, basically, could you tell us like any more on how the case is progressing and stuff like that? I think that's what the person would have meant. I mean, what do they turn around and say? Good old Lancashire Police. Oh yeah, she was a pisshead basically, and there's a long stream of her being a pisshead. And just to add insult to injury, she's going through the menopause, so that might be why she's drinking now. She might have had a lapse or a relapse. Well, do you know what? Nice one, Lancashire Police. How lovely you are, yeah, to make that woman seem frigging stupid. You know what I mean? I know you don't look stupid, love. If you could hear this, and I hope you are, really do hope you are. But if you can hear this, don't you be asked about what anybody said there. So just get yourself back if you can, love. But do you know what? It's proved me wrong, but this is looking pretty bad now. 19 days. She went missing 19 days ago. Like I said, the police astonishingly somehow know that she definitely had a phone in her. So, they could say with greatness that she had this phone in front of her. But I'd like to know if she had it in front of her. How do they not know then? What happened? Did she end the call safely? What time did she end the call? Have they mentioned that to us? This was a team call that she was having apparently while she was running. Why did nobody ask that? Why was that not answered? Then why is it that thank you, one viewer who's come back. Yeah, why is it that they brought out when they're asking about the case about the stuff about her being vulnerable, and they said specific multiple vulnerabilities. So that to me says that if they're saying about the alcohol stuff, then they've also maybe saying that she's got mental health problems, maybe brought on by alcohol, drugs, or whatever. But that still doesn't make her any less, you know what I mean? And then the fact is, they're saying specific one. So yeah, maybe you'd say a specific one if it was one. If you're saying plural, if there's a few, it'd be a few specific mental health conditions. So basically, so they did not give us exactly right. So we need to know what's going on with this lady. But like I say, back to when they were saying before about the people who've been arrested, it's been very skirty about what they pass out about her. So yeah. Anyway, I've just had one of you come back on, then one of you gone. While I'm at zero again, going back to eating scones. So when you come back on, whoever it is who keys something in at the side will start the stream again. This time I'll be going through the full set of everything that's gone, everything that the Lancashire Police have come out with, what they were asked and what they didn't answer, do you know what I mean, what they did or didn't answer. So I'm right at him now. I'm just waiting. People start watching our Bulley address what was asked and what was answered today. Okay. If half them drugs you just mentioned wouldn't even do fuck all, whatever my question I say. What? I can't believe I forgot voice to that song. Why are you giving away that song? Alright. I'm off for a bit, mate. I'm waiting. Still alive, but when you just look at all the days, I just come back. Trazodone. So, oh, there we go. We're back. Right. And I just slipped in. You know what? terrible. Right, now I've got somebody starting. The Taekwondo terrapin, what are you saying, alien? What's happening at Taekwondo terrapin, my dude? Come on, and just stay on, stay on, stay on. Come on, stay on. Yeah, baby, I've got a guy saying, "What do you think's happened to her?" And please get on. Please get back on, stay, and I'll give you some shares. Oh, you can hear that, dude. Right, yeah, get on, and I'll talk about the full Q&A today. So, Lancashire, please, just give me some shares out there, mate, and I at least like it. Taekwondo therapy, big up out there. Think at this rate, I'd only have to do about 500,000 nights, 500,000 nights of this, and I'd break the million barrier on YouTube. Hey, only 500,000 nights, well, it's 27,000. See that? See how gangster I am? I'm that gangster and geeky. I can fucking do maths like fucking Stephen Hawking could fucking dictate out planets and all sorts of shit. You can fucking want a thick cunt. What's that there? Yes, now two people, thank you. So let me get my joint and I will talk to you properly. I was just sending something to you then, Taekwondo dude, yeah? Right, Taekwondo dude, I'm trying to get some records broken. Yeah, if I get me at least 10 people watching at the one time, yeah, that's a record broke for me. So, right, I want to go through these. These are literally, like the questions that was asked today. The master detective superintendent, something Smith, a female like big wig up in the police there at Lancashire, and she's been asked a series of questions today, and she's gone at it like I don't know. She's basically gone at it like a politician, but a very shit politician. But like I've already mentioned, first one, she's come out with when they were asked about the crime. She's come out with, oh, basically we can tell you that she's a vulnerable adult, blah 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 blah. But when she said specific ones, she's not told us any more about that, despite being asked. And she's not mentioned about mental health aspects. She's not mentioned about other stuff like that. There's also been two people was arrested, a 49-year-old and a 20-year-old. They've been very vague with what they've released there. One says that it was a man, then it said it was a woman, then it was a man and a woman, then it was a man and a younger man. You need to choose what you believe in it. But I think from to say that it wasn't suspicious at the beginning, and yet all these tests that they're slowly admitting to doing and stuff like that, and these little things, it just doesn't make sense. If it wasn't suspicious, she won't be missing. You know what I mean? You don't have the suspicion if they've got involved. You know what I mean? And if they're saying that they've gone and hacked into these phones and blah blah blah. The guy who killed Paul Massey, yeah, the guy killed Paul Massey, and as you know, and on his wrist, on the front page of the Manchester Evening News, there was him wearing a Garmin or he was either wearing a Garmin or a Fitbit, and that gave enough, to the police to triangulate where he was. It's like basically so that he could be. It gave out enough where he was, and they convicted the lad who killed Massey. They convicted him on the evidence that was on that watch, that Garmin watch. They say that put him present at the time, Yet they can't find anything on hers. They can't find anything on her Fitbit watch to turn around and say, that they found anything. I don't get that at all. So if in one case you can use it, do you know what I mean? Gangster on gangster, you can use it like that. But this woman, she's sat there. Yeah, she's a woman who's okay. She's had these vulnerabilities and that. But what the fuck did they have to bring that up for? You know what I mean? And then saying that she was on the menopause, that's disgusting. So anyway, let's go and look through some more of these. Like I say, so the 49-year-old and the 20-year-old, we don't know exactly who they are. But you can Google away and you can find out who they were, these 49 and 20-year-old. I don't know if there's like conditions. There will be conditions, obviously. But unless they've been released without any charge at all. You know what I mean? So then, but like I say, when they say it's not suspicious, they're not treating the disappearance as suspicious. Why are they nicking people then? Right, so basically, there's also been talk of this red van, and then they say the red van's been taken and looked at, blah 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 blah, but it's got nothing at all to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Why on earth would a van be taken? I know I've got somebody on there who keeps every time I make a fact on there, they're going off taking it, basically going to Google and checking the fact that I'm putting out there, and then they keep logging back on. Why don't you write his thing here? What is OMD? From GG. One sec, GG. OMD. The way I've dealt with it is OMD. Yeah, was what we call the Bravo boys on there. Oldham man them. But Oldham murder documentaries basically. I'm from Oldham, best place going, big up. I'm from Oldham and Oldham man them, so I've used that workplace so anybody want to see that, and then they get straight into what they want to see. Oldham murder documentaries. You'll be seeing stuff like, so the people that are watching, you'll be seeing stuff like, Warren Matthews, our mate Warren, I don't know, he might not have been your mate, but was. Brian was Brian, that was his dad. Rest in peace, he died 2019. And thankfully him and was were on the same wing and that fat bastard, you grassed him up, that fat bastard Mark here, you know what I mean, he got 25-year life record, 25-year for being a grass. The guy was massively overweight when he went in jail, disgustingly overweight. And I fucking hope it's affected him every day. That sentence here, and I hope the fat bastard fucking falls over just as he's getting to the fucking release date. I hope he has to serve it all, gets to be released, and then drops dead on his way out there. Thank you for the little influx of people that are coming on. Probably because I'm talking some sense. That fat fuck, yeah. At the end of the day, it was his place where the body was found and all that. So at the end of the day, why are they not turning round and saying that he should be serving massive amounts of time? It's bullshit. So at the end of the day, was being up there, loads of other people got nicked on it and all that. At the end of the day, good on them all for getting away for it. No matter who had to do with what. But at the end of the day, that fat bastard getting that, do you know what I mean? How the fuck he did so 20? How can he live with himself 25? So he got 5 years less than Brian. Brian, who's lost his life, God rest him. You know what I mean? And then that fat bastard, I hope he's lost his life. Fuck him, I can't even think of his second name. But to Gigi, just asked me there, do I live close to where Nicola went missing? It's we're in Lancashire as well, yeah. So it's I don't know, you'd say probably about 15, 20 miles, something like that. Yeah, it's in Lancashire, the same county. But yeah, getting back to things like that, the sort of stuff that you're going to be expecting on there, the OMD, Oldham man, them it was anyway, but Oldham murder documentary. So basically, it was going to give a lot of stuff out, like I was just talking there, Warren Matthews, um, the Paul Stowers, who's just getting out. He's Paul Stowers, he's either just getting out or just got out. He killed Leanne Singleton. Was it Leanne Singleton? Kelly Singleton. Oh Jesus, I put that wrong. I'm sure it's Leanne Singleton. He killed her. I'm going to do a story on that very soon. He killed her, and what had happened is her body had started to, decay. Obviously, it was in summer, and if I remember rightly, there was bin men, because it was a bank holiday Monday coming. They hadn't done the bins or some crap like that, and she started to really decompose in there. God bless her. And at the end of the day, Paul Stowers, who done it, I mean, he did definitely had a 20 wreck. He did the 20 wreck, and I think he's out now, or I don't know. But yeah, he left that park. She was a teenager when she went. You know what I mean? I remember going to school and all that, and hearing about it, and then thinking, "Wow, it's Ginger Paul." And, you know what I mean? It's some fucked up shit that. But yeah, like I say, I think he's out. Just mad things like that. There's a lot of stuff to be said about what goes on in Oldham. Not a lot of people who have ever covered it. You look at that chaps, you look at other people and that, and none of them have ever sat there and fucking got any of these crimes in the proper. I don't mean it like nasty, but there's some cheesy ass shit. You know what I mean? Fucking like, to think about was, I know I've said it like 3 times now, but that'll be a serious story for people. You know what I mean? And I've got to ask her that, see what I can. I've got to ask certain people certain things whether I can do stuff. But I wanted, cover loads of Tom Heath. I'm going to have to ask certain people about that, and then who it nearly could have been, and who it was meant for, stuff like that. We'll have to ask their because everybody's got the right to say yes or no, unless they're a nonce or whatever, then they haven't got no fucking rights. But certain people have got to ask them that before I can stick them on. So anyway, somebody also happened there. You're asking what people are thinking of happened to her there. Right, just to give you my quick view on what I think's happened to her. I honestly think that I think she's dead anyway. That's what I'd say. I mean, I don't really, it sounds a bit shitty me just saying that. But what do you think's happened to her? I think she's dead. Um, you don't go missing for 19 days. There'll be no spottings, no nothing like that. And then, like I say, I was getting in stuff before. This red van that's been mentioned, they pulled the red van in, and then they've looked around it. They've obviously found something that suggests they're not suggesting she's alive. They're not suggesting she's dead, which is unusual. They usually say by a certain amount of time in something we believe that there's, they've got to put across. They've got to hold stuff back, the police, so that they don't put too much info out, and then the person knows what the police are looking for. So they could basically say, if they say, "Oh, we're looking for brain matter," blah blah blah, then they know she's dead. Then the person knows they've got to go deep into hiding. The police have got to look a bit fucking spastic, which they usually are, but they've got to look a bit more spastic than that to pull stuff off. You know what I mean? They've got to make you think that they haven't got nothing on you. You know what I mean? And then if you start thinking that way, if you're a knob, you start thinking that way, then you know what I mean? That's how you're getting caught. But yeah, what I think happened to her, I think she's probably had some ex who's got fucking mad loved her and whatever. I don't know if she's done something fucked up or, and then she's ended up dead. But the usual, something like that. Or another thing that could have happened, so I don't even know whether that's what I mean, not told us nothing. She could have been with some Asian guy who's done it for an honour killing. She could have been because she could have been high on drugs because they said other specific vulnerabilities. She could have been really ill, gone out for a jog and had a fucking heart attack. I don't know. She might be lying. You know what I mean? There's loads of millions of things that have happened to her. It does sounds to me like they've had some significant arrest and that from say something about this red van, and then nothing. Then say that, like I say, it goes back to John Benet Ramsey and that when they searched this one place 3 times, then they found a body on the third time in a place they said they've already searched. These people have urged people, yeah, they've urged, that's what they've said, to go and check this, a certain place, this, where they find her. They've not, and then John Benet Ramsey, I'm on about now, and then they've said that they think they find her, and then they've gone and got it. Well, this one, they said go and have a look see if this Nicola now, see if she's in this house of interest. It must be an house where people drink or whatever. Then one of her mates has come on and said, "Oh no, these people are such good people. They would not try and stop you from, looking in there and blah blah blah. It's got nothing to do with them and all that." Sounds all a bit too fucking like there's a bit of a script to it or something. Like, oh, hang on, they're asking about this house and that mean that's it's either that's where we all go drinking or blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? It could be where she goes to do a number of things. It could be a fucking shot house. It could be this. It could be that shot house. By the way, I mean a drug house where she buys from or goes to use or whatever. It could be a pisshead's house where she goes to have a drink and all that, and she's probably looks to sort out a bit of money, so she probably goes in and pays for it to sit with a load of people like because it's more chilling to sit with a load of fucking like-minded people. If she's drinking that, she wants to be probably sat around local estate fucking heads who are drinking too much, taking drugs, and that she probably would be into the drugs then. But that's just me rambling off on a tangent there. But yeah, I'm not for 1 minute suggesting she is that, but that that sort of shit happens. So back to Gigi again. Right, no worries about it's wearing the OMD, and doesn't seem like the type to cheat on her partner. You never know. I hope she's still alive. Now, don't start coming out as being one of them who gets what because when they think they let too much slip on the internet and because you've got doesn't seem like the type to cheat on a partner. Well, where's the cheating on a partner ever come into it? I don't get that. You can please educate me there if they actually have brought that out because I've just gone through it all and I've never seen that. But for you to say that, you know, the type to cheat on a partner, if there's nobody who's ever said that, why have you said it unless I don't know, unless you've heard something some other people haven't, and you hope that she's still alive. You hope she's still alive. Like I said, I don't really think that's. Nah, listen, look, you don't go missing certain amounts of time. Yeah, you go missing and then it all. If it's been I've just gone missing that, the police usually know within a day because somebody throws you in. Then they tell you 5 days later tops. That's all it is. They just hide it away for a bit and then they come on with this grand press conference. It's turned out that I don't even know why I went to go into a Scottish accent there, but fuck it. It's turned out that she was found and that she's been fine. She's been in hospital. She's been checked out. Blah blah blah. There was no reason to believe from word go that anything was wrong. That's what we told you. Blah blah blah. I've just gone from Glasgow to fucking Edinburgh. I don't know why. Anyway, back to me. Yeah, it's just all madness that comes out. You know what I mean? And this 1 minute to they've got everything going, and they tell you if they've got something's going right with a case, but this one they're using so much like diversion that they make it look fucking completely stupid. Yes, there's something happened to a death, and they don't want to let the person know. I think that they've already nicked somebody very close, some got some info, and they're looking for somebody. That's my opinion. I was lost. More people watching then in the time that I just went on that little ramble. But you want to come back. Like I said, I think it's all just flying over, checking facts out. But yeah, no. When you said there, so you thought that she'd run off with an ex. Maybe by the where are you from, Gigi? If you can just type that in for me, please. The reason I'm asking is because it's like you might not be getting the way I'm talking. No, right. I'm saying, but can you just tell me where you from? Where you from? Are you English? Are you not? Because you might not be getting, when you said it, you think that I said she ran off with an ex. Right, you're from New York City. Buzzing. I'd love to be in New York City. I'd love to come there because I'm an hip hop and absolute hip hop freak, and that's the only hip hop. Whereabouts, if you don't mind me asking, you near one of them sort of areas or? Don't know, but I'll answer some of your questions there. New York City, yeah, but I meant like Yonkers, Harlem, or do you actually mean New York City, actually right in the centre? But yeah, so no, I didn't say that she's gone off the next, but I was asking you, like where you're from, your vernacular, how you'd understand what I talk. I've got like quite a heavy, like Mancunian crossed with Mancunian, and then like where this lady's from, Lancashire, is we've got something called the Pennines, and that's like what they call the backbone of the north. It's a load of like it's a big valley, and then obviously it dips on big like sort of cliffs on both sides, and that's the Pennine district. So yeah, you can hear one person from 20 mile away from me who doesn't like. My missus Vapor 87, she does a gamer site. If you know anybody's into gaming, go to that. But she also does the editing or stuff on that when I do proper videos. But she's from a 40-minute drive from the Tots, which to use over there is like to the next shop, innit? You know what I mean? Use a massive just New York City, where you're from, is bigger than my whole country. New York City, so just not the outskirts and all that, but just like New York City itself was so much bigger. But anyway, yeah. No, I didn't say she went off an X, so yeah, you might have been getting my accents a bit muddled up. Then you don't know why somebody would hurt her. That exactly when you think about it. Why is look at like over there what you had Gary Ridgway and all that. You went strictly after sex workers. Do I think anything's great about sex workers? No, they do put themselves at a lot of risk, but do I hate sex workers? No. Do I think they deserve to suffer for anything? No. Sometimes if a sex worker, had a partner at home and he didn't know that she was a sex worker, so, do you know what I mean? Or it just somehow, it's just so affects somebody else, then maybe the person should think about it a bit. But I don't have anything against sex workers, and do you know what I mean? They pretty much, they do what they've got to do it, do you know what I mean, to get through whatever they're going through at that time. But yeah, people like Gary Ridgway and that, they went straight after sex workers, and then you had Richard Ramirez and all them. You had all these loonies, and they all had it some sort of thingy, but that was the son of Sammy who run it. Now, you don't know why anybody would have hurt, and now, literally, they maybe, and I think the police have fucked up there by saying the vulnerabilities with alcohol and stuff like that, and then specific vulnerabilities. I think they're trying to say drugs and alcohol. That's my opinion. And they go hand in hand. If she's drinking a lot, she's been in places where there's going to be a lot of drugs about. And if she's taking a lot of drugs, a lot of different things can happen. All her inhibitions could be gone. She could be doing all sorts of stuff. We've seen a picture of her there where she looks good. She might look nothing like that, but you know what I mean? God only knows. I can't turn around and say exactly what it is, but I can tell you what I think. And like I was saying, as at the start of this, well, not the start of the video, but the start of this ramble, yeah, time frames, when somebody's gone missing for a day or something, they say, yeah, we found them after 3 days, but basically they didn't let us know. And do you know what I mean? They've blah blah blah. They've got to let them get time to go see the family and that again, and to get all the stories straight and get everything written up and that for the papers, blah blah blah. Anyway, then the story's all out there. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with it. Oh, it's just like there's people could have fuck it. There's people could have voted for a million different reasons, and I don't know. I don't know. They've gone a bit too far with vulnerability. It keeps making me think more and more stuff, and that. Then maybe one of you put down there. Maybe Nicola saw something she wasn't supposed to work or some other business, and it was a hired hit. Now, honest to God, I really hope that you, Gigi, are a proper true crime fan, something, and you really trying to like use this as like, is this another place where your fans will mix and blend and try and get into helping you out with the case, and it's only just started, you know what I mean? So maybe it might get like that, and thank you, but for trying. But maybe Nicola saw something she wasn't supposed to work or some other business, and it was a high hit. Yeah, do you know what that's? I mean, I'd say it's more of Hollywood than that, but you know what I mean? Especially over here, you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, it either sounds like you know something there. I'm only joking on that. Do you know what I mean? I'm only having a laugh with you, but. See what I mean? It does seem like you know quite a bit there, and that you're suggesting things, or you just are a proper armchair sleuth. But no, over here, to be honest with you, especially in the area that she was, it's very unlikely that there was hired hits and all that. And you do know over here in the UK, yeah, we can't go and buy a gun. We can't go and buy guns at all. We cannot have a handgun over here, and that's literally at all. We can buy shotguns, yeah, but we've got to go through all sorts of things. I can't buy one because I've been to prison and that. But yeah, you know, you know, really, you're not getting any sort of gun. You're not getting hits like that over here. Hit over here, somebody going absolutely beating somebody up, and I was setting the house on fire or something. That's what we do over here. We don't. There's no hits, hide hits, and that. And my partner Paul seems a bit off, and her friend Emma too. Right, Tim Barnes and the guy that owns the mortgage company. I think they're the top suspects. Right, Tim Barnes and the mortgage company and all that. Right, yeah, you're going right into a good one here, but I was going to be very loose on this one. I just wanted to see how many people I could get up on it. But if you want to go on a bit of a deep dive, yeah, yeah, the hired hit thing, maybe when you're starting to bring people into it, like Tim Barnes and the guy that owns the mortgage company, you're starting to think of a bit of money, cause especially over here, mortgage is bread and butter, and which is bricks and mortar. And then it's, you know, the guy from the mortgage company and that, and then a partner, Paul seems to be one of them who's also tried to put a few different, like, what if maybes and all that about and all that, a bit like you do yourself, yeah, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't want to say, like I say, I'm not saying nothing rude to you, but what I'm saying is like a bit like yourself, you're putting stuff up, and does that make you a top suspect? No, it don't, because, but in my head, yeah, you very well much could be, because I ain't got a fucking clue who you are, you know what I mean? You're trying to tell me some, but yeah, well, you've got true crime is huge on YouTube. Yeah, I ought to be part of that. So I catch some drift out of it. So if you could, you know what I mean? You obviously true crime's huge on YouTube means that you know a lot about true crime on YouTube, especially true crime, and especially on YouTube. So please, could you like send me about some of your mates and that? As you can see, the more you're interacting with me, like you're only one of a few viewers. As you're interacting with me, I can, I'm actually starting getting a bit more, where I want to talk and all that. And if you get more people, I'll have more people firing questions at me and that, and I do know a lot more, sort of stuff. So what I want to do specifically for you, because you're like remain, the other player, the other couple few people there. Um, you're all great, yeah. Just but more people would be nice if I could get you in on this little debate that's going here. So right, I'm gonna just listen to some of these. Right. So yeah, Gigi, if you want to stick up, right, with Tim Barnes, and the what you call it, right, the 49-year-old and the 20-year-old, who are they? If you've got that information there for me, please, because Tim Barnes and the guy who owns the mortgage company. I really wasn't quite. I didn't think there was going to be people quite into it this deep, but if there is, I'm here for it. There's other cases that I was going to look at, you know what I mean? Specifically, my content comes from, usually from, like a daily one that I was going to do was just coming from that that's life true crime pull out. I was just going to do stories like that for people to listen to or whatever. And then, like I said, I got into the thing like was with my boy, a very close boy, Richard Barker. I was good. I mean, I probably know more about that murder than most people ever should or would know. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? I am fucking gutted because it stopped ages ago. Luckily, it doesn't matter. I'll just take the fucking thing off. Um, you just tell me what you want to know about. You know what I mean? All I can tell you is that I think it's a cunt trip what they did today, and they put across about our vulnerabilities and all that. Just like I say, the thing about the house, why this house is, somebody's made a big issue and they said, but then somebody said they've urged and urged and urged and said that it definitely would be, like something like where they'd find her or whatever. Sounds like somebody's saying that they would do think they're going to find her. It sounds like somebody knows she's dead, which I don't know, but I mean, I think that. And I hope that's not true, but you know, yeah, thanks by the way, Gigi, that you found my channel, came up and you searched for Nicola Bulley update. Yeah, so please just like, I want to be putting stuff up every day, probably a few times a day, bits and bats like this. So anytime you want to come on live, just get a subscriber to me and that, and then I can start putting videos up and that, knowing that if you subscribe, you're gonna find out when they're out. I'll try and put some up every day, yeah. But I'm going to try and put a small story up with from, like I say, Oldham murder documentary. So if I don't know whoever's watching, if you fancy hearing the story of Warren Matthews, Andy Green, and a fat grass, that's what it's going to be called. Warren Matthews, Andy Green, and a fat grass. Right. So anybody who is interested in watching that, yeah, I will put the post on for it after this, and then just let me know. And the more you say, for every subscriber, everybody who subscribes, in that time or whatever, or for every viewer, I'll release stuff that you definitely won't ever get. Don't ever want to have heard it before. You'll never get it on your news or nothing like that. And the bits that obviously I've been privy to by the fact that I was Warren's cellmate for a long, long time. During this case, I was there when the body was found. You know what I mean? I don't mean I was there. I was in prison when the body was found, and then I was subject to an arrest on it. So you know what I mean? So I can tell you, so a lot of stuff, and I will release stuff, but I will never ever put anybody in any trouble, and I will not incriminate myself. You can ask me all you want through comments here, and I'll tell you what, you won't catch somebody who's as good with the solicit talks. I will tell you all sorts to get you carrying on to and be liking and giving me time on it. But it won't be lies, none of it. It's just how much I'll stretch to it, and I'm never ever going to put anybody else's shit at risk. Thank you for the one who's just come on there. Right, yeah. So you've got the Richard Barker thing coming up. You've got the Warren Matthews and Andy Green and the fucking Fat Grass thing coming up. You're going to hear about the kid from Limeside who died on New Year. Very, very, that's very sad, you know what I mean? You're going to be hearing some stuff about that. Very sorry to all his family and that, that I know somebody is. So, yeah, you're going to be hearing about that. I just told you a bit about Paul Stowers. You're going to be getting his story at some point tomorrow. Paul Stowers, I really don't want to get it right. I'm sure it's I'm not going to say a name. It's Singleton and all that. Leanne, it was either Leanne or Kelly. And Paul Stowers, who got done for murder, and we called him Ginger Paul. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's when you can have it tomorrow. I've got quite a few people watching now, so if the people who are watching there, I presume you're locals maybe, because you're thinking about the cases that I've said. I don't know either way. So if you'd like to hear Warren Matthews, Andy, the murder of Andy Green. So Warren Matthews, Andy Green, and the Fat Grass. You can have that tomorrow. You can have something about the kid from Limeside. I'll do all the research on that and get it up for you tomorrow. You can hear about my boy Richard Barker getting murdered by Gareth Curtis and that, and Pigott and that. You can see probably. Thank you for the overview. You can hear, you know what I mean. You can hear everything that I know about it. And like I said, the more people that pop on like that, the more people that pop on as you are doing that. Thank you very much for that. Obviously, means I'm getting somewhere. Yeah, usually you hear stuff that. First of all, I want anybody to, please remain impartial on that. The comments don't start no beefs up and talking shit, you know what I mean? It's like, I hate Gareth Curtis for what he did to Richard Barker while he orchestrated some shit and all that, but I don't want people calling his family out and all that on here and blah, blah, blah. I just want people to, please talk about it and all that, but do not think that I am not going against either side. I'm obviously not going to big you up, Gareth, or any of you people, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I ain't going to fucking try and get you in trouble. I ain't beefing with you, lads, you know what I mean? Them days it should be long gone, it should be well long gone in my head anyway. Sorry about the shit in jail and that, and at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I would draw this to a close soon because I think I've had a nice little bounce of people there. I thank you all for that, seriously, because it really sprung up a bit there. Um, yeah, so if you want to type in on what I'm going to put down a post soon and tell you, like I say, you know what you've got there. You actually, I'll just type them on now, and you tell me which one you want for tomorrow, always, yeah, and try and I get double what I got tonight, yeah, I'll be buzzing. If I get triple the night after, I'll be buzzing. Do you know what? It won't be a long road that way anyway. Thank you very much. I really mean that. Um, so, do, 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 do. Right, so I'm putting up here now which stories you've got the little, what to put down. Please share and all that. It'd be nice. I'm not going to start asking for, subs and likes and blah, 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 blah. But just do what you can for me. Try and get me heard, man. Just share me about and that. Try and get me heard. And I'll do cases that you've asked for. So you've got was Andy Green and the flat grass. Right, that's one. You've got the child from Limeside murder or more. Murder or more question mark. All we know and shit. Right, so that's the one you can have there. All of them can have a chat on them. But yeah, I'm going to put down now. So you've got a child from Limeside, murder or more. You can have the Paul Stowers, Singleton. I don't want to say a name wrong, like I say, I'm sure it's Leanne. Yeah, I'm going to put that right, I'm sure I'm right. Leanne, I'm sure it was L-I-A-N. Leanne Singleton. I can't remember, she had a weird spelling to her name, I'm sure she did. Leanne Singleton. You know what I mean? You tell me you got it, you know what I mean? I've got to have some spare time, so I'll put. Right, listen, GG, yeah. You don't know these cases, are they local in the UK? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This what you've got here, OMD-Oldham murder documentaries, right? Oldham is a very small, very, very small part of Greater Manchester. So these cases you're going to get told, but you got, I have some, I've done a lot of prison in my life, and I've got some, what you call it in these, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of inside knowledge, just stuff that I picked from the jail grapevine, blah, 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 blah. And I can tell you a lot more about the case in that there will actually be. So it's a bit like a podcast at the minute, really, apart from you see my face here and there. But it's just supposed to be a listenable. It's a podcast. But we will start. I've got Babe 87, but she's busy with her gaming channel at the minute. But she will put me small bits in. I do know how to edit myself and that, but I don't know whether I might just leave it a listenable like this, a podcast. I might just show you the odd picture and that, literally hold it up to the screen like that. Because look, if I showed you, you know what I mean, straight away, you could see something with a bit more lighting. Just let's do it single, that simple and single, like, task here. It's like, let's talk, you know what I mean, let's do that. And then, yeah, I'll probably go better when I start getting people, but like I say, I'm bigging it up again, thank you. Right, so, you've got the post hours, then single and murder. Like I say, I just told you, yeah, GG, yeah, they're very, very local to this area, and you will like them. This would do one of them. Right, there you go. If you look at there was Andy Green and a fat grass basic rundown. Lad my age was Matthews. I'm 40, by the way, so he's like a year older than me, 40, 41. His dad Brian was 60, mid 60s while he was in there. Well, no, yeah, he was. I think he was 60 when I was in 2005, like, with when this all started. Um, so I think that basically I think he got to nearly 80, 70 plus 80, and he went of a heart attack in front of us. Do you know what I mean? What I think was there, yeah, on the landing when it happened. So it's awful, and like I say, that fat bastard. And I'd say you'll hear a lot more about it when so you've got him. You can pick about that story. There was a child from Limeside, a bit like that Labinjo Hughes thing, and I don't know so much about it now. So like I said, I'll tell you. Basically, he was found unresponsive. The mum had come out in a mess, screaming on the street, and basically there was a reason she was taken somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And there's a reason it's not carried on. I haven't looked enough into it yet to give you anything. I'm starting a channel off here, and I want you to tell me what you want to hear. I mean, so I'll have a good research of it tomorrow, and we'll have a good topic up here tomorrow night, or I might do a couple during the day. I don't know. Right. And yeah, keep on GG because I'll be giving you loads of other stuff from further around the UK and that as well. But they'll just be stories that I'm getting from Mike. Right. And then Paul Stowers, Leanne Singleton. I'm going to stick with them three. I'm always going to give you three options. Yeah. Paul Stowers, way back, I think it was 2002. I think it was 98 or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, it was like 98. Um, Leanne Singleton, and she gets murdered. She gets put into where she gets left is the bin men, being off caused her to basically get found. It was atrocious. It was a horrible thing that happened. Anyway, Paul Stowers, we call him Ginger Paul, was from Limeside, which is very close to the one that you started watching for. So anyway, the case that you actually started watching this all over. And I know I haven't really covered that tonight, but I've just had a little buzz. I'm happy that you just all came up and you all were. The only one who's making any comments though is Gigi, really. You know what I mean, there's been a couple, but nothing else. Please just help me out on it. But thanks for the ones who are listening and that. And yeah, just come up and just let me know what you want out of them three. Um, if you want something I can really go in out about, yeah, there was Andy Green, the fact that I so dealt with in that. I can tell you a lot more, and I can tell you some personal stuff from it. Child from Limeside, I've got to do a load of research tomorrow, and I don't mind. But I'm going to put a post on during the day. If it's a bit bland, I'll tell you. I'll pick something else. But the Star Wars Singleton thing, that was really, really, really big. It was. It's a hell of nasty. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna find when I'm researching more. I'll have that one ready for you tomorrow. So out of them two, I'd go between the Was Matthews thing and the Green, or go for the what you call it. And I'll just reward you by the more viewers I get and the more whatever I get. You know what I mean? Shares, whatever likes, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Get your subs on me already. I can just and just be like if you can. I mean, I know one is a press like there. Thank you. Anybody else wanna? Anybody else who's you feel the other four there? You might as well just give a quick like if you can. Cheeky, you get nowhere about it there. Anyway, I think some people may be listening and not subscribed into YouTube, so they may not be able to chat. Right. Nice. So, I learn more about stuff like this every day anyway, because I'm not really all that great on it. But yeah, get yourselves in. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, basically what you're telling me is I've probably got more views and blah 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 than I want. But yeah, if you want to go to jail, if you cover Nicola Bulley, you will grow. Is that what you're telling me then? So should I keep on with this? How about if I give yous now? So I've been on for a while. If you do you think should cover some with Nicola Bulley now? Do you think if I come on? It's 1:40 or 1:41 English time now. So what happens if you what time is what time we're on now over there, and what time is your morning? If I specifically do it for you, Gigi, my biggest whoever you are, you're my biggest whatever tonight. You put a lot of stuff across. So There's a channel called TV757. You can see how he grew his channel with true crime. No, I want to draw it myself, yeah. I want it to help with people like you. And I'm not asked out. I don't want it to be, dead quick and all that. I want to get my own little fan base and that round me. And if you continue like this, come on and that, and just like, all right, there you go. There's your first little thing that I can give you. You get to pick the case for tomorrow. So you say no, and then the case is yours. You know what I mean? Because you've done that. So tell me, what would you like to hear? Right, it's 8:42 p.m. I think I'm reading there. So, and it is 01:42 here. So we've got what? Right, so we're talking 6 hours. You're 6 hours ahead of us. So right. So if you want to right, I'll do you Nicola Bulley. I'll do you every single thing I know about the whole case. What time's your dinner at work tomorrow? So I book you what time your dinner at work is, yeah, and the episode's for you. Or if you're not at work, right, the episode's for you anyway. I'll be my best viewer. And like I said, I'll do Nicola Bulley, um, a full story on Nicola Bulley tomorrow, yeah. So the other ones can wait, and then either you'll remain the top, you have remain the top one again, and you'll get the next choice, or if not, you've got the Nicola Bulley every single. If you do, you want a deep dive on it? Do you want an absolute deep dive where we go right in on everything? Do you want me to be on live, or do you want me to make the video? Anytime, 7 p.m. or after would be great. Right, nice. It's up to you. If you want me to, right, I'll do one of the stories during the day. Something else, no worries. Thank you for being here. And yeah, 7 p.m. I'll do you the Nickel Bulley, everything we know about Nickel Bulley at 7 p.m. And don't worry, thank you very much. Definitely come. I'll do that live for you. I'll do that live. Um, I'll do that 7 p.m. And if you want me to go live at, I don't know, I might go. I'll go live every time I hear something new about that one. Right, so every time something new comes out in the case, I'll keep watching it on the internet. I'll come up with something new for you. Yeah, we can carry on the discussion then. I'm definitely going to go now. Thanks to everybody who's on here. Thank you for the people on. Please stick the likes on the subs and that if you can. Right now, it's been nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless. Make sure you don't end up being a story that I cover, because Jesus Christ, don't want that. Look after yourselves. Good night, people. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.